You got Bloody Face again. It's a rough matchup. And I told him to give me a dank quote. And he said, Tej, everyone keeps counting me out based on lineups, but I never count myself out, ever. And then he said, I'm going to do this in all caps.
Okay, I'm going to do this in all caps. All right, we got a little passion. You made it sound like this was like the most epic speech of all time, like Braveheart or Gladiator status, you know? But you kind of psyched me out there a little bit.
It was. That was a pretty good little quote there.
Well, you know, Bloody Face is his practice partner and friend and teammate. Bloody Face is himself. Noblard already has gone through in the winners match, but as you can see, facing off in round 5 and in the initial matches. I mean, Bloody Face also has to play against Bobby X and Noblard, Language Hacker, you name it. There's just so many talented players in this list. It's a bloody trail, if you will.
Ooh.
Now, part of the reason why we felt like this matchup is so insanely hard is because Odd Warrior can't put enough pressure. We recognize that not everyone saw the series in round 5 Swiss, so if you're just paying attention to the top 8 and seeing these decider matches of who goes to the championship, Odd Warrior just does not do a good enough job pressuring. Their win condition primarily is through exhausting their opponent of resources and eventually winning out in long fatigue scenarios. Now, Bloody Face, when he's given infinite time, will be able to assemble infinite damage, which is kind of what all of his decks do. He has the Horseman of the Apocalypse. Excuse me, I'm getting a little choked up, TJ. It's so emotional. It's not because of my allergies or that I'm feeling a little sick. Holy Wrath Paladin with the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. We have Quest Priest that has Topsy-Turvy with OTK. They have Quest Rogue, which feels like infinite resources at times.
Yep.
And then Hakar Druid, which we all know inevitably wins long fatigue scenarios.
Now, if Killing All Day were to somehow defeat this priest in game 1 with Odd Warrior, then it's a completely different series. But it's just so tough because it's tough for Odd Warrior to mount pressure.
But he's doing a good job of it. I think this this Coppertail Imposter, is that what they call it? The mech, I guess, stealth from Boomsday Project. Potentially a blessing in disguise, even though it's not a very assuming card. It's that you keep it safe from removal, and Killing All Day can keep stacking that advantage with Zilliax right now. It can make it a 10 attack minion, and you know there is that Psychic Scream, which is very key for Bloody Face, but there's still a handful of damage that's been dealt, you know, and it delays Bloody Faces from getting his quest done. But Killing All Day knew this was a very strong possibility, which is why he was thinking about, should I shuffle in, you know, or should I play a little bit slower and be more cautious?
I honestly wouldn't be surprised just to see Big Game Hunter here because it's the most damage. And the next turn, Faceless Manipulator, the Big Game Hunter, to really get the ball rolling. That's the weird kind of plays you have to make in this matchup. Killen does just not have much
I don't disagree.
Power generation.
I don't disagree, TJ. It's also one of those scenarios where, remember during the interview, Ike was telling us how he put King Bukla in his Odd Warrior. It's against lineups like this where it actually seems to give you a fighting chance, because you might be able to time it where they burn a really important card, or you're able to complicate their hand situation because they need to dump things.
Yep.
But, you know, just not having the right tech cards for those control lineups. And yet, despite all that, Killing All Day has been able to persevere. So I'm still holding out for a little bit of hope, even though it looks very grim. This is a very good move here from Bloody Face, just to duplicate his Vivid Nightmare and Topsy-Turvy while being able to complete his quest.
Yep, so now Bloody Face is basically just a few mana and Stone Tuskboar away from completion, and also Death Rattles, but that seems a little bit further away. Dead Ringer will help that.
Well, Killen has... He has the cube. He has a cube Reckless Flurry play, which... I mean, does increase the power on board. Puts his opponent down to 9. That's just outside of any like meaningful range of damage if he has 2 4-attack minions on the board.
I do think that the Owl might be
Yeah, it's probably more important here.
Probably more important here because the one thing that Killen also needs to make sure he does is slow down quest progress because there's almost no way he kills Bloody if he completes the quest. 30 health, okay, manageable. 30 plus 40 or however much plus 40, not really manageable for an Odd Warrior to do. So I think Iron Beak Gal is just, what do you do beyond that? And it looks like cute for the pressure and the Iron Beak Gal throwing out there, so. Ooh, Radiant.
Another Radiant Elemental. I mean, pretty much. Oh, wait. He doesn't need Stone Tusk board anymore. He has all the.
Oh, he has a minion on the board, yeah.
This should do it, and he has more than enough mana.
Yep.
You only need, I think, 7 mana because you don't actually need to play Stone Tusk board from hand. And so with 2 Radiant Elementals, 2 Vivid Nightmares, that's it. Wow, what a quick kill. And, I mean, Killen still put a reasonable amount of pressure on. You know, if Lightface didn't have the Psychic Scream, this game still gave Odd Warrior a small chance.
Even with Psychic Scream, if Killen was able to clear off the board, there's no way you can ever expect the quest to be completed this quickly. So,
now, real quick, TJ, the caveat to this is that there is a potential hand space issue if Bloody doesn't play this carefully. Some people get really careless with how they stack their buffs, and then they lose the last topsy-turvy. But, you know, given that Killen All Day is only at 38 and not at some absurd life count where he's in the hundreds, there shouldn't be too much of that worry and concern. I think that was probably the only one thing that Noblord was worried about when he played this exact mirror match against Bloodyface.
Yeah.
He looks like he got the combo off, but I think it was probably a little bit too close for comfort.
That was also the look of pretty much every Topsy-Turvy Priest player we've seen on camera after they win a game with Topsy-Turvy Priest.
Wait, whoa, wait, no, whoa.
He got it. And then he just has a Topsy-Turvy.
Okay. I thought he forgot to flip his last thing because he wasn't done yet, but he got it. There you go.
Yeah. And that was probably, honestly, as close as Killen's going to get. I think this APM Priest is his best matchup on paper. And you can see why, because